You could write any kind of lyrics, talk about anything. Why so much sex?
Internet bullying is something that really needs to stop, you know. At the end of the day, you know, us celebrities have it worse.
Lil Kim was born on July 11th, 1974 in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, New York. As a child, Kim was sent to a well-established Catholic school, Queen of All Saints in Brooklyn, in an attempt to provide a stable learning environment. But stability was lacking after her parents' marriage broke up when Kim was 8 years old. Linwood, a former military man, reportedly began to use physical violence against his wife. Kim told the Washington Post in 2000 that she remembers her mom having black eyes, and that her father told people she had fallen. In a 2000s interview with Newsweek, Kim reminisced about the way her father criticized her from the time she was very young. "It was like I could do nothing right," she says. "Everything about me was wrong. My hair, my clothes, just me." That set up a pattern for her future relationships with men. "All my life, men have told me I wasn't pretty enough, even the men I was dating, and I'd be like, well, why are you with me then?" she winces. "It's always been men putting me down just like my dad. To this day, when someone says I'm cute, I can't see it. I don't see it no matter what anybody says." Kim moved with her mother and brother to the suburb of New Rochelle, NY, where some girls in their new all-white neighborhood teased Kim because of her skin color. Ruby May struggled for money and, unable to support her family, eventually granted Linwood custody of their 2 children. Linwood remarried, though his relationship with Kim soured irreparably only after she began dating boys at the age of 13. According to Kim, he became verbally abusive, and their relationship took a violent turn. One day, Kim stabbed him with a pair of scissors.
When I was 15 years old, I was kicked out of my house. So I was on the street. I was basically homeless. I was forced into doing things that I didn't want to do, you know what I mean? Like, you know, dipping and dabbing with guys that was selling drugs and doing all other types of stuff. And
in the following years, she sometimes lived with neighbors or with elderly men who provided her with housing and food. She worked in department stores, following in the footsteps of her mother, who worked at Macy's and ran errands for drug dealers. She also hinted that she had been sexually assaulted, although she never named her abuser. The girl wanted to become a rapper from a young age, and she finally got lucky.
"What's up, big mama?"
What'd you just call me?
Big mama.
Kim studied at the Sarah J. Hale Vocational School in Brooklyn and then at the Brooklyn College Academy. Her future rival Foxy Brown also studied there. By the time Kim met Christopher Wallace, better known as Biggie, at the age of 17, she had completely given up on her education. Wallace was a couple of years older at 19, a small-time drug dealer on his way to hip-hop superstardom as the notorious B.I.G. They met accidentally on a street corner, after which Kim freestyled for Biggie. In 1992, Wallace signed a contract with Sean Puffy Combs' label Bad Boy Entertainment. In addition to his solo career, Wallace organized the hip-hop group Junior Mafia, which included several of his childhood friends. Lil Kim became the only female member of the group. Under Wallace's leadership, Junior Mafia released a number of singles, and in 1995, the debut album Conspiracy. With the single Player's Anthem, Lil Kim was introduced to the world.
Watch my niggas back, nines in the stores, Glocks in the bags, Max and Mini Marcus get.
And a little later released her debut album Hardcore, which became extremely successful in sales and was doing pretty good numbers.
Stone sets, I got my own baguettes, and I'll be doing things that you won't regret. Little Kim the Queen.
Her image was built on her sexy appearance, which is why she attracted the male audience. And do you know whose idea it was? Biggie's, of course. He wanted her to show off her beauty at 100%. He encouraged her to cultivate a lascivious style, which was later dubbed gangsta porn rap, which rubbed the infamous C. Dolores Tucker the wrong way, since she wanted to abolish gangsta rap, vulgarity, and so on.
I want you to, be sure, I feel that you're too young to be having sex. You're too young to be listening to my music too. But if you're gonna listen to it, make sure you do the right thing. Don't go out and have sex for the wrong reasons. And if you do...
And Biggie was not only her mentor, but also her boyfriend. And it was at this time that Biggie meets Faith Evans and marries her after only 8 days. They continued to work together, although it was very difficult to keep calm.
You calling a bitch, nigga? You wasn't talking that shit when you was eating my pussy the other night.
Like best, my wife just think full left mix, fat X and old mix.
So I was like, no, like tell him to, tell him to ask his girlfriend.
But that wasn't the end of it. One of the worst altercations between Lil Kim and Evans was when she caught her and her husband together in a hotel room. Here's what Faith Evans wrote in her autobiography. I got to Big's bedroom door, turned the knob, and went inside. As soon as I saw a small lump next to Big's large frame, I flew into a rage, ran over to the side of the bed, and pulled back the covers. I grabbed some chick out of the bed and started beating her ass. At some point, the chick's wig came off in my hand. It was a short, cropped wig. I stopped throwing punches for a minute to get a good look at the chick I was beating up. It was Lil Kim. She was completely butt naked, yelling as I pushed her around the room. Big sat up in bed and pointed at Kim, who was standing in a corner of the room, trying to cover her naked body with her hands while I was still yelling at Big. Yo, get her out of here, Big said. They led Kim out of the room and she screamed and cursed the whole way. When Kim and Evans first met, Evans only assumed that the two New York rappers had a working relationship. However, everyone in Big's circle knew what was going on behind the scenes. In 1996, the Lady Marmalade rapper was pregnant with Biggie's child. However, she had an abortion because she knew that the relationship was not conducive to bringing a child into the world. Kim has admitted that she and Biggie had a violent relationship.
Phones on like this. I'm like, yeah, you know that. Boom! My headphones on. And we started fighting and we tore the plaques off the wall and everything. And he choked me out in the elevator, so I passed out. And look.
Kim revealed that for a long time, violent men attracted her. Biggie was killed and it was difficult for her to get over that loss.
Biggie was the type of person to motivate you. He always wanted anyone to succeed.
She even stopped making music for a while, but later returned.
That he could just be on top, and I want to be on top again.
Right.
In June of 2000, the long-awaited album The Notorious K.I.M. was released. The album immediately debuted at number 4 on the Billboard 200 chart and sold 3 million copies worldwide. Thus, the album became one of the best-selling rap albums of that year.
He asked me if I'd be his date for the prom, and he'd buy me a horse, a Porsche. If I was you, I'd hate me too. Louis Vuitton shoes and a whole lot of
And despite some positive moments of her popularity, in 2001 an incident happened that changed her life completely. Since 1996 she had a feud with Foxy Brown, and it all ended up in a shooting in 2001 near the Studio Hot 97 in Manhattan. Shots were fired after Lil Kim gave an interview to the radio station. One person was injured and the second was severely injured. When it came to court, Kim told the grand jury that she knew nothing about the fact that 2 people from her entourage, her manager Damian Butler and another man, Suv Jackson, were present at the time of the shooting. But surveillance photos show Butler opening the door for Kim, with witnesses linking her to both men, who pleaded guilty to weapons possession that night. As a result, in March of 2005, Kim was found guilty of perjury and conspiracy before a federal grand jury. I thought it was the right thing to do, but now I know it's wrong, Kim said, with tears in her eyes before the sentencing. On July 6, 2005, she was fined $50,000 and sentenced to a year and 1 day in prison, and Butler was jailed for 12 years. Lil Kim's 4th album, The Naked Truth, was released in September of 2005 while she was still incarcerated. Some fans have called this release the greatest female rap album of all time.
I come from Bed-Stuy, but you can see the two of they gon' die. Gotta keep the ratchet close. In the club we sippin' Dom P, sitting lovely, oh, whoa, whoa.
Now it's time to discuss her plastic surgery and why she got it done. As we said earlier, she was bullied for her appearance, developing an insecurity. In 2005, she went on a radio show and explained that she had her nose broken during a physically abusive confrontation with an ex-boyfriend whose name is Damian World Hardy. They dated for only 1 year between 2002 and 2003. Kim told the listeners that she, like many other women, had been a part of a violent relationship that left her with a broken nose, black eyes, all that stuff. The New York native revealed that she had to fix her nose not once but multiple times. Every time she'd go through a procedure and come back to her boyfriend, he'd hit her again and sent her reeling into a tangle of insecurities and self-loathing. It's not just her face that was damaged as a result of these brutal attacks. Kim had to undergo multiple MRIs because he beat me up so bad I couldn't even move. She also suffered from blood clots in her back.
You're a fucking thief. You're fucking white. You have no melanin, bitch.
Kim was so tired of lying about her injuries, pretending they were an allergic reaction, and burying her bruises in makeup, that she thought it would be better to get professional work done and wipe out those physical markings for once and for all. I kind of prayed the whole time. I didn't know what to do, and it has a lot to do with my maturity too. It's been times I was in the car with my ex-boyfriend and he punched me in my face and I was bleeding all over the car. The doctor had to fix my nose because it was almost shattered.
You guys help me to get through everything as well, and y'all make me want to keep going.
The trauma led her to start her charitable organization, Lil Kim Cares, which does extraordinary work in raising awareness and funds for issues such as homelessness, child neglect, and violence against women. She's also keen on showing that just because she's a celebrity doesn't mean that she doesn't go through the same trials and tribulations as anyone else suffering from abuse. Like any other survivor, she has to muster up tons of courage to leave a toxic environment and learn to love herself again.
To make you feel, dump 'em in the club, have you wildin' out when you bump this drugs to your.
Let's check out some of her singles, as well as her new album 9, which she put out in 2019.
That good pussy make a nigga come fast. Then I let him use my face as I come round. Like B711, working all night, 24/7. Fuck the FBI, who you come. Nastiest one, yeah. The way you do it, y'all know vintage 40, yeah. More Balmain than Olivier, over 300.
What's up with her now? She plans to release her biopic, she plans to continue releasing music, and Cardi B wants to collab with her. As for her family life, in 2014, she gave birth to a baby girl from Mr. Papers. She made amends with her father in 2012, with whom, as you already know, she had a pretty complicated relationship after it became known that Linwood had Alzheimer's. She took him into her home and began to take care of him. In 2019, Lil Kim wrote that he had died. I recommend you check out the next video about what happened to the members of Bad Boy Records. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and I'll see you soon.